There we go. Okay. What's your name and how do you spell it?
My name is Shelly Parks, SHELLYPARKS.
Okay. What is your idea of a true education?
I think especially with high schoolers, I think the idea is that in high school you explore all different kinds of classes that you're interested in, so then you can figure out really what your passions are and then decide to go into that as a focus in college. So like you try science, math, history, English, but you also try publications and you also try a computer class, and then you discover there your passions and then you go on to major in college.
What do you think schools can do to help improve student success?
I mean, I think, to be honest with you, I think a lot of the times the students are the ones who really have to decide to take that on themselves. I think schools are set up in ways that students can be successful, and I feel like a lot of teachers give multiple opportunities for revision and test corrections and things like that, but a student really does have to take the initiative to say, I want to be successful, here are my goals, here's my vision, and I'm going to work toward that. But I feel like most teachers in schools reward effort in terms of grades and things like that. So I think if you're trying hard and you fail in school, then we got to find another option for you. But for the kids who aren't passing, I feel like most of the time it's an effort thing instead of an ability thing.
Okay. What is your ideal teaching method?
So I'm really big with cooperative learning. I really like the kids to work on in teams together, and I like everybody in the team to have a job and have something to do because, well, personally, my test score numbers went way up when kids started working on teams or in teams together. And I think it makes everybody more motivated, and it's more fun to be able to talk to people and things like that too.
What are your morals as a teacher?
So, I mean, I really care if kids pass or not, and I probably take it a little too personally, but if a kid doesn't pass my class, I'm super bummed about it, and I wonder what I could have done differently and all that kind of stuff. So that really, really matters to me, that I don't have any kids who fail my class who are trying their hardest.
What do you think is a good teacher?
I mean, I think a good teacher balances really caring about and loving their students, but I also think that there's high expectations involved. So I hope that what people would say about me is that she really expects us to try really hard, we have to work really hard, but she also helps support us along the way. And I think that's my job.
Why did you become a teacher, and what inspired you?
So my mom taught for 40 years, and she just retired, and so she was my biggest inspiration. I also think I may have mentioned before I taught English in Romania, and that was a real inspiration too. I knew that I wanted to teach teenagers after that. Yeah, and I love teaching from a young age, but I love everything about this job. I think it's so fun to be able to hang out with teenagers who are funny and awesome. I love the content of English and reading and writing and helping kids get better at that, and just enjoying it.
Can you tell us a background of your teaching experience or a story of a time where you felt like you helped a student be successful?
Well, I think that my highlight of my career is always when a kid decides to go into teaching, or especially English teaching. Like they have said, in essence to me, you love your job so much and you've made it look so much fun that I want to do that for the rest of my career. And so that's always like a highlight for me, when the kids want to go into education.
Okay. How do you feel about becoming Missouri State Teacher of the Year?
It was an honor for sure, and a surprise for sure. I in no way feel like I'm like the best teacher in Missouri or anything like that. I just think that it worked out that way, that my application was picked and whatever. I think I do a lot of good things for kids, but I teach with a bunch of people who do a lot of good things for kids. So I don't think I'm special at all. What I think is cool about the opportunity is that I will get to travel around, see other schools in the state, and talk about our kids. And so I love that.
How did you create AP Foundations, and why did you create it?
AP Foundations came from a desire. I taught always lower level kids, or I taught high level kids. And so I really felt like in my classes, the middle kid, just the kid who's like just not really noticeable one way or the other, sort of got lost in the shuffle, and I didn't want that to happen. And I also felt like my AP classes looked super the same, and I wanted more diversity in my AP classes. I wanted to see a wider range of people taking those classes. So from that desire, we went out and did some research and looked into schools and what they were doing and came up with AP Foundations from that, so that the regular kid who wanted to take an AP class could totally take an AP class, but they would have support in place to do that.
My experience with AP Foundations has been phenomenal. At first, I was apprehensive about my transition from Hazelwood East High School, but to my surprise, it has been more fluid than expected. AP Foundations has helped me stay focused and organized and help support me in my weakest subjects. One of the exercises we do in class is called tutorials. Tutorials are where we propose a problem to a small group with the same subject difficulties. Everyone works and asks questions to help you reach the answer without directly telling you the answer. During the summer, there was an opportunity to attend a boot camp, which was a 3-day program to help us prepare for our first AP class. Between AP Foundations and the boot camp, we learned how to properly use Cornell notes. We were also given a routine of how we can separate our workload, what days to work on it, the time to spend on it, and how to study. I truly believe this program should stay available to incoming college-bound sophomores and juniors taking their first AP class to persuade them to take more challenges in high school and give them the support to do so. Next year, I plan to take AP Government and AP Language to continue my plan for taking challenging courses, but now feel prepared to take these classes on my own, thanks to the support of AP Foundations and Ms. Parks. I do plan to implement the Foundations as a tutor in my junior year.
Okay, so when I think of AP Foundations and the successes, I think of course, kiddos like Caitlin, who are a total rock star. I also think of Addie, who started this year wanting to quit her journalism class, and after having a few conversations with her about how interviewing and having to talk to other people would be helpful for her in her future and push her outside of her comfort zone, which was good. She stuck out journalism, and she also just recently found out that she was accepted to be part of the national award-winning newspaper staff at North next year. I also think of Liz, who's stepping up her game by signing up for not 1 or 2, but 3 AP courses next year. I think of Isaac, who just got his letter of acceptance for National Honor Society, which was a goal he had for himself at the beginning of this year when all of us were deciding which extracurricular activity to join. I think of Lacey, who's a struggling learner who wanted to take on the challenge of an AP course, so took on AP Lang this year. And even though this class is definitely a struggle for her, she and I spend time together reading each day, revising her essays, studying for quizzes to make sure she gets it. And though she doesn't feel ready to take the AP Lang test this year, she has already signed up for AP Lit next year, and the goal is to take the test at the end of next year for her. A day in AP Foundations looks different for all students. Some days we're working on geometry, a lot of days. Some days we're working on AP Euro, which is also frequent. Some days I'm teaching them how to take notes. We're doing reading, writing strategies. Some days we're just sharing celebrations and struggles. This class, even for me, has pushed me outside of my comfort zone, and for the kids too, but it has been so rewarding. So I really thank you guys for seeing the need for this program. Also, my colleague at FHC, who's sick, asked me to read the following. She says she's extremely passionate about this course. She echoes my sentiments and could share individual success stories about each of her students as well. Clearly, the impact of this course upon our students is tremendous. With the aid of this course, students garner more than just help with their AP courses. They gain motivation to push themselves beyond what they thought they were capable of, confidence in their evolving and improving abilities, and perseverance through minor setbacks or failures. Many of these students are taking even more challenging classes next year thanks to Foundations, and that's at Francis House Central. Thank you.
Oh, for sure. Sorry.
That's okay. Yes, you as well. So first of all, Caitlin, thank you so much for sharing your individual story. I think that really helps us as a board understand from the student perspective. So thank you very much for being here with us. mentioned that you attended the AP boot camp and the foundation course. How did you find out about the AP course availability for the boot camp and the foundations course?
Actually, they emailed me asking me to take AP European History, and at first, like, I was kind of scared to do it, but, like, I ended up just deciding to do it. And AP Foundations, it was, like, recommended to me to take it to help me with my first AP class and, like, writing and all of that, so that's how it kind of
Do you feel that the foundations course helped you be more prepared for the AP course itself, the
Yeah.
Euro?
Yes, it's like we learn how to do Cornell notes, which like helps us like understand the material better. So like with whatever we learn and we're taking down notes as he's talking, it kind of helps us to take Cornell notes down so we can like understand it better. So and she just taught us how to like organize everything so we won't be like all over the place when we're learning stuff.
Great, thank you. Mrs. Parks, so you helped develop the curriculum?
I did.
So being the first year and getting through it, it sounds like the curriculum is very flexible based on the student needs in the class. How do you feel about the general structure? Are you happy with where it is?
Yeah, I think we're just now kind of getting into a groove with the structure and figuring out what works. We do tutorials like Caitlin had talked about once a week. So the kids bring a point of confusion from a class that they're having. And then as a group, they get divided and they all help each other by just asking questions. And they have to, okay, have you looked at your notes? Have you figured this out? And